Hello students, how are you? So today we are going to continue our lecture series on electrostatics, problems from electrostatics. The first problem that I am going to take today is this. In the given circuit, a charge of 80 microcoulomb is given to upper plate of 4 microfarad capacitor. Then in the steady state, the charge on the upper plate of 3 microfarad capacitor is, options are 32 microcoulomb, 40 microcoulomb, 48 microcoulomb, 80 microcoulomb, and this is the circuit that is given. This problem has came in JEE Advanced 2012. So let's solve it. We'll take few seconds to solve this problem. There may be many methods to solve this, but I am going to give you the shortest possible method. कई लोगों को लगता है कि JEE Advanced बहुत टफ एग्जाम है, it is not like that. It is a different exam. So let's solve this problem. This is Earth. So let's suppose that this point has the potential V and this point is potential at 0. So this capacitor has potential difference of V across its plates. So charge on this plate will be 3V and charge on this plate will be 2V. If you know the formula, Q is equal to C into V. Now consider the isolated place. This is if 80 microcoulomb, this will be minus 80 microcoulomb. Now this plate and this plate forms isolated system of plates. So total charge should be equal to 0. So we will say 2V plus 3V minus 80 must be equal to 0. This will give you V is equal to 16. So charge on 3 microfarad upper plate will be 3V and V is 16, so it will be 48 microcoulomb. So this option is correct, C is correct. So you can see easily over here how much time it take, around 5 to 7 seconds, and we can solve this problem very easily. Please note it down. Let's move to the other one. I hope you have noted down the last problem solution. Now look at this problem. This problem said a 2 microfarad capacitor is charged as shown in figure. Then the percentage of its stored energy dissipated after the switch S is turned to position 2 is, options 0%, 20%, 75% and 80%. This is a circuit that is given. This is again a problem from JEE Advanced 2011. Let's solve it. The first situation is this. So if this is the situation, there will be no current flows in this branch. So current will flow in this circuit, this loop. So all charge will be on this 2 microfarad capacitor. So at this juncture, we can say here, if it is 0 potential, here it is V, so it is also V. So charge will be 2V and this is minus 2V. So this is the charge for this situation. Now when the switch goes to position 2, the battery will be disconnected and this will be like this. The battery will be disconnected now, right? So it will be 2 microfarad and this is your 8 microfarad. The charge on 2 microfarad was 2V, right? So now let's suppose that potential difference across this capacitor is V0. So charge on this plate will be 2V0 and on this plate will be minus 2V0. Same potential difference will be across this, because if this is V0, that means we are assuming this is V0 and this is 0. So this is also V0 and this is also 0. So 8V0 and this is minus 8V0. So total charge on 2 capacitors will be 2V0 plus 8V0, and that must be equal to initial charge, that will be 2V, because charge will be conserved. So V0 comes out to be V by 5, right? So now let's calculate the dissipation in energy. So U initial minus U final will be half CV square is the energy. So C is 2 initially and V is V. So V square minus half, again CV square, so there are two capacitors, so 2 plus 8, and across the potential is V naught, and V naught is V by 5, so V by 5 square, right? So this comes out to be V square minus, that will be 5, and that will be V square by 5, and that comes out to be 4V square by 5. This is the change in energy. So percentage will be equal to 4V square by 5 upon UI, and UI is V square into 100, and that comes to be 4 by 5 into 100, and that will be 80%. So option D is correct. So it is also very easy problem. जैसा मैंने बोला, JEE Advanced, people says that it's a difficult exam, but it is not a difficult exam. If you approach the problem in a right way, I don't think it will take more than 10 seconds to solve any objective problem of JEE. So this is the solution for this problem, right? So let's move to the other one. So I hope you have noted down the previous problems which are from JEE Advanced. So let's move to this problem. This problem said 5 identical conducting plates 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are fixed parallel and equidistant from each other as shown in figure. Find the ratio of the charge on plate 3 to the charge on plate 5, and this is the figure that is given. So they are identical plates, equidistant and parallel to each other. So by the figure you can easily see that this plate is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and these plates are connected to the positive terminal of the battery, the first thing. The second thing, how many capacitors are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 capacitors are there. 1 and 3, these two plates are at the same potential, and 2 and 5 are at the same potential. So let's redraw this circuit. Suppose I am starting with 1, 2. This is the capacitor. This is my plate number 1. This is my plate number 2. So this capacitor I have drawn. Now let's draw 2, 3. So 2, 3, 3 and 1 are at the same potential. So I can say this is my 3 and this is 2. So 2, 3 and this is 1, 2. Now let's draw 3, 4 and 4, 5. Now let's see, 2 and 5 are at equipotential. So let's draw a plate over here. 2 and 5, so this will be 5. 5 and 4, so this will be 4. So 3 capacitors we have drawn, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Now we are left with 4, 3. 3 and 1 are at equipotential. So 3 and 1 are at equipotential. So we will draw like this. This is our 4 plate, this is our third plate. These are the 4 capacitors, and 1, 3 are connected with positive terminal of the battery. Let's connect a battery over here, and 4th plate is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. Suppose potential difference of V. So this is the circuit of this diagram. I hope you are getting my point. Now we have to find the ratio of the charge on plate 3 to the plate 5. So let's calculate the charges on the plates first. For that, it is quite easy to find the equivalent resistance of this circuit. Suppose the capacitance is C for all the capacitors because they are identical plates, equidistant. So these are in parallels. So parallel, so equivalent will be C plus C, that will be 2C. 2C and C are in series. So 2C and C in series will give you 2C into C by 2C plus C, that will be 2C by 3. I am getting it orally. I hope you are getting my point. C parallels will be 2C. 2C and C are in series, that will be 2C by 3. And 2C by 3 and C are in parallel. So 2C by 3 plus C, that will be 5C by 3. So C equivalent of this circuit will be 5C by 3. So the charge flown by the battery will be equal to 5C by 3 into V. So 5 CV by 3, agreed? So this is the charge that is given by this battery. So now let's divide this charge, distribute this charge. So 5 CV by 3 is the total charge. So let's distribute it. 5 CV by 3. Now let's see this capacitance across potential difference V connected. This capacitance, potential difference, suppose this is V, this is V, this is V, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. So across this capacitance, potential difference is V. So charge on this capacitor will be CV and this is minus CV. This is quite easy, agreed? Now again, across this combination also the potential difference is V. And the total capacitance of this branch will be C plus C, 2C, 2C and C are in series, that will be 2C by 3. So the charge that is given to this branch of the circuit will be 2C by 3 into V. I hope you are getting my point. Parallel 2C and series 2C by 3 and potential across this branch will be V. So total charge will be equal to C equivalent into V, and C equivalent is 2C by 3. So 2C V by 3. So here you will get charge 2CV by 3. Here minus 2CV by 3. Same logic, here equal charge will be distributed. So here will be minus CV by 3, here CV by 3, and here CV by 3, and here minus CV by 3. I hope you are getting my point. I am not doing very complex calculations. I am doing the problem with the easiest possible method that we can do. So this is the charge distribution. Now what? We have to find the ratio. So on third plate, what will be the total charge? Third plate. This is the charge on the third plate and this is the charge on the third plate. So charge on the third plate upon charge on fifth plate. This is, we have to calculate the third plate, CV and CV by 3, CV plus CV by 3. And on fifth plate, this is your fifth plate, it will be 2 CV by 3. So it comes out to be, it is 4 CV by 3 upon 2 CV by 3. 2, this is the answer of the problem. So very easy problem if the approach is correct. If your approach is not correct, that will take you minimum 10 to 15 minutes to solve this problem. What we have to do, we have to redraw this circuit as this and then find the C equivalent, then the charge, total charge, and we distributed the charge. Starting with this capacitor, because this is the easiest one. Across it the potential difference is V, so charge will be CV and minus CV. Then across this branch the charge will be 2 CV by 3. So on this capacitor will be minus 2 CV by 3 and 2 CV by 3, and here the capacitance are same, so in parallel, so charge will be equally distributed. So CV by 3 minus CV by 3, and from here we can get the solution very easily. I hope you are enjoying the lecture. So if you come to this channel for the first time, I request you to subscribe the channel, and let's move ahead for the next problem. I hope you have noted down the last problem. Now let's move to this problem. This is a very good one. It says, figure shows 3 concentric spherical cells with inner and outer cells earth, and the middle cell is given a charge Q. Given the ratio of electrostatic energy is stored in region 1 to region 2 is A by B, then find A plus B. And this is the figure that is given. This is your region 1 and this is your region 2, and this is the diagram that is given. Before solving this problem, I hope you know the concept of a spherical capacitor. If you don't know, let me remind you about some spherical capacitor. If these are the 2 spherical conducting cells and I am earthing this outer surface, and let's say I am giving this a charge Q. Suppose on this surface the charge is Q dash. So concentrate on these 2 points A and B. Obviously, because this is earth, so potential at B must be equal to 0, right? Now potential at B can be calculated easily. It is due to this outer cell and due to this inner cell also. Suppose this radius is R1 and suppose this radius is R2. So because of the inner cell, the potential at B will be, it is the outer point for this cell, so it will be KQ by R2. Always remember, K I am writing as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, right? KQ by R2 due to this inner one, and for the outer one it will be plus KQ dash upon R2, right? So that will be equal to 0. So from here you can easily say Q plus Q dash will be 0. So what will be Q dash? Q dash will be minus Q. So if Q dash is minus Q, obviously the charge distribution will be like this. Here it will be Q and here it will be minus Q. Whole charge will be on the inner surface, right? So the electric field lines will be like this. In this region only. So the whole electrostatic energy is confined in this region, and that's why we call it a spherical capacitor. We can add this also, we can add this also, we can do anything. It depends on us. Now let's calculate the capacitance of this capacitor. Now this is my point A and this is my point B. So what will be the potential difference? VB minus VA. It is the lower one, it is the higher one. So it will be VA minus VB. Electric field lines always travel from higher potential to lower potential. This is at 0. So let's calculate VA minus VB, which is simply VA minus 0, that will be VA. Now VA it is due to the inner cell and due to the outer cell. So due to the inner cell the charge is Q, so it will be KQ by R1, and for the outer cell charge is minus Q, that will be minus KQ by R2, and that comes out to be KQ 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So ultimately KQ R2 minus R1 upon R1 R2. This is the potential difference. So capacitance will be equal to the charge on the capacitor upon the potential difference. So putting the value of this potential difference Q upon this, the capacitance comes out to be R1 R2 upon K R2 minus R1. K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So we can say C of a spherical capacitance is 4 pi epsilon naught R1 R2 upon R2 minus R1. This is the capacitance of a spherical capacitor. So this is the proof I have given you for your comfort. Now let's move to the problem that we have given over here. If you wish, you can note it down and then proceed. Let's move to the problem. Now here the charge given to the middle layer. So let's charge on this cell, the innermost cell is Q1, and charge on the outermost cell is Q2. Now suppose this is my point A, this is my point B, this is my point C. A and C are earth. So the potential of point A and C must be equal to 0. So potential of A must be equal to 0. Now potential at A, it is due to the all three cells. So let's calculate. For the inner one, it will be KQ1 by capital R. For the middle one, that will be KQ by 2 capital R. And for the outermost, it will be KQ2 by 4 capital R, and that must be equal to 0. From here you can easily say it will be give you 4Q1 plus 2Q plus Q2 is 0. This is my equation number 1. Now Vc is 0. So Vc due to innermost cell, that will be kq1 by 4r. For the middle one, kq by 4r, and the outermost kq2 by 4r, that will be equal to 0. So q1 plus q plus q2 is 0. By solving 1 and 2, we can easily get, just subtract it, the q2 will be cancelled out, 1 minus 2 gives 3q1 plus q is equal to 0. So q1 comes out to be minus q by 3, and put the value of q1 into q1 is equal to minus q by 3. So q2 will comes out to be minus 2q by 3. So this is the charges on the innermost and the outermost cells. So now let's distribute these charges. This is q1 and q1 is minus q by 3. So q1 is minus q by 3. So this charge is minus q by 3. So obviously from here the inner part will be q by 3. Total is q. So this will be 2q by 3. And this is minus 2q by 3, which is q2. So on the outermost part there will be no charge. So this is the charge distribution. So how will be the electric lines? Electric lines will be like this. In this region it is like this. Right? And in this region the field lines will be like this. So obviously energy is stored in these two regions, and we are interested in finding this energy. So we can consider there are two spherical capacitors, one from inner and middle and one from middle and outer, and we are simply going to find the ratio of the energies. Now please note it down, I am proceeding ahead. So in region 1, for region 1 means this one. So I am considering this capacitor consists of innermost and the middle layer. The capacitance will be equal to, we have calculated 4 by epsilon naught R1 R2. R1 is R, R2 is 2R upon R2 minus R1. So 2R minus R, and that comes out to be 8 pi epsilon naught R. This is the capacitance. So energy for the first region will be equal to charge in the first region. Charge in the first region, this region will be q by 3 obviously. So q by 3 square by 2c, and that will be equal to q square by 18c, and that will come to be q square upon 18 into 8 into pi epsilon naught R, right? And for region 2, the capacitance will be 4 pi epsilon naught 2R into 4R upon 4R minus 2R, and that comes out to be 16 pi epsilon naught R. So the electrostatic energy will be, charge in this region will be 2q by 3. So 2q by 3 square upon 16 pi epsilon naught R into 2, right? This is equation number 2. So let's find the ratio. Please note it down, I am proceeding ahead. So U1 by U2, we are interested in finding U1 by U2. U1 is this, q square by 18 into 8 into pi epsilon naught R upon this. So it will be 2 into 16 into pi epsilon naught R divided by 4q square and 9 will go up, right? So pi epsilon naught r, pi epsilon naught will cancel out, q square and q square will be cancel out. 9 2 ja 18, 2 and 2 will be cancel out, and that will be 16 by 8, that will be 2, and this is given as a by b. So obviously a is 2 and b is 1, so a plus b is equal to 3. So this is the answer of the problem. So not a difficult one. If you know the concept, it's a very easy problem. Today I haven't taken in many difficult problems. I have just taken the problems which are likely to come into JEE Advanced. For your confidence boosting, I have shown in, for the first two problems I have taken directly from the JEE Advanced. You can see easily that they are very easy. So never underestimate yourself that you cannot crack JEE Advanced and all that. It's not a very difficult examination. It's a different examination which tests your mental strength as well as your subject knowledge. Maybe you are very good at subject, but your mental toughness is not good, then you will not be able to solve the problem in the given time frame. That's why many good students are not able to crack JEE Advanced. This is the reason. So always have confidence in your capabilities. Never overestimate yourself. There is a fine line between overconfidence and self-confidence. Self-confidence is a very good thing, but overconfidence is not good at all. I hope you like problems of today's lecture. If you come to this channel for the first time, I request you to subscribe the channel, like the video, and share it to your friends. Take care of yourself and your near dear ones. Bye bye. Take care.